The jungle floor, a canvas of damp earth and decaying leaves, held the promise of a rare treasure. Kalen, a man whose life was framed through a lens, had ventured deep into the Amazon's embrace, his quest singular and focused, to capture the ephemeral bloom of the moonflower, a spectacle that unfolded only under the cloak of night. He had tracked its location for days, following whispers from local guides and the subtle clues of the forest itself. As dusk bled into a starless night, he found it, its petals on the verge of unfurling. But as he adjusted his tripod, the air grew heavy, thick with an unspoken warning. The symphony of the jungle, the chirps, the calls, the rustles, fell silent, replaced by a low, ominous rumble that vibrated through the soles of his boots. A sudden, violent tempest ripped through the canopy without ceremony. The sky, moments before a calm, inky black, was torn asunder by jagged bolts of lightning. Rain fell not in drops, but in solid, blinding sheets, transforming the forest floor into a churning river of mud and debris. Kalen fumbled to protect his precious equipment, his primary mission forgotten in the face of nature's raw fury. The wind howled like a vengeful spirit, tearing at branches and whipping leaves into a disorienting frenzy. He stumbled away from his post, seeking shelter, but in the chaos, every direction looked the same. The path he had so carefully marked was gone, swallowed by the rising water and the impenetrable darkness. The jungle, once a place of wonder and discovery, had become a formidable, living labyrinth, its green walls closing in around him with each flash of lightning that illuminated his desperate, lost state. Drenched, shivering, and utterly disoriented, Kalen pushed through the thick, clinging vegetation for what felt like an eternity. Every shadow played tricks on his exhausted mind, morphing into imagined threats. Then a shadow detached itself from the gloom, solid and menacing. Low to the ground, it moved with a liquid grace that sent a primal fear coursing through him. Two eyes, like glowing embers, fixed on him from the darkness. A jaguar, sleek and powerful, its muscular form tensed. It was the apex predator, the undisputed king of this domain, and Kalen was an intruder. Panic clawed at his throat, urging him to run, to scream. But some deeper instinct, honed by years of observing wild creatures, took hold. He knew that to run was to become prey. He stood his ground, his heart hammering against his ribs. Raising his camera, he aimed the lens not as a photographer, but as a cornered animal. With a trembling finger, he triggered the flash. The world exploded in a blinding white burst, a man-made lightning strike. The jaguar, startled and momentarily blinded by the alien light, recoiled with a guttural snarl before melting back into the shadows from which it came, leaving Kalen alone, gasping in the suffocating humidity. The storm eventually exhausted its rage, its fury receding with the night. As the first gentle rays of dawn pierced the dense canopy, they illuminated a world washed clean, glistening and renewed. A weary but unbroken Kalen stumbled forward, his body aching, his spirit drained. Through a break in the trees, he saw it, a colossal ceiba tree, its distinctive silhouette a landmark he recognized from his journey in. The sight was a beacon of salvation. He had survived. He turned and looked back into the deep green heart of the jungle he had just escaped. The fear was gone, replaced by an overwhelming sense of awe. He had come as an observer, seeking to capture and conquer a piece of its mystery. He left with the humbling realization that this place could never be tamed or owned. It was a living, breathing entity of untamable power and spirit, and he was merely a fleeting guest who had been granted a harsh but profound lesson in respect.